Koenig, Crump, Indiana. I've probably signed up for my first program about 2 years ago, and we've continued to try different ones over that period of time. The information presented was good. It's just it stopped short of getting us to the end point. It gave us a lot of information, a lot of ways to do different things, but once we got to a certain point, we could never close the deal. And that was where we were lacking in every program that we tried. In fact, it was funny, the first time he called, I was no way expecting to ever hear from him. And I was sitting in our home office and the phone rang and the caller ID said Joe Crump, and I thought, okay, it's his office, and I pick it up. And it was actually Joe. And I thought, my gosh, I'm actually speaking to Joe Crump. But it was nice because he asked me questions, I was able to ask him questions, and he pretty much critiqued what we were currently doing, even though we still hadn't been to the buying event, and was very hands-on from day one. And this has been several weeks now that he's been calling us and emailing us and very accessible to us. Well, right now we're in the middle of a rehab, and I think that's going to be our starting point of jumping that first hurdle, is getting some money in-house and things like that. Joe is offering us a really good idea on lease options that we didn't think about, which was calling the for rents. And his for rent program, we had been calling buyers, we had been using expired listings, we had literally exhausted every possible buyer's list we could possibly use. And today, in fact, he had us calling on for rent, and we've already got 3 people that we've sent contracts out to. So, very happy. Well, initially, our goal was to replace my income. I have a full-time job in downtown Chicago. I've been there over 23 years, and our initial goal was to replace my income so I could join the business full-time and work from home. We think we're about a year away from that, but as quickly as we're able to pick up the lease options and execute everything all the way through, we're hoping to speed that up. I think the goal is to take me out of the necessity of commuting and to basically be our income for both of us. I'm hoping not to have to work at 40 hours a week, but it would be a better 40-hour work week for me than it is now with the commute and still putting in the full-time in the other job plus the home job. So we're hoping not to have to do it 40 hours a week. I like the personal interaction. I love the networking among the people. But Joe gets you right into the meat of things. And a lot of the other programs that we had been to were more teaching, not necessarily showing. And I love the hands-on, I really do. Joe's program gets you right into the thick of things almost immediately that first week. A wealth of information, a lot of emails back and forth showing you how to get started within 4 or 5 days. The others pretty much teach you the process and leave you to figure it out yourself, and that's not what Joe's doing. And because we've been in investing for a little while, we kind of are a little step ahead of others. But it's good for us to go back to that beginning and do a refresher. And I like the idea that he can get you going within 4 or 5 days and get some money in-house.